Right, new project machine here, something a bit different, something I've been wanting to do. Had a lot of requests to do something different now. I thought, what bike could I get? I thought, what a Japanese bike, something that I can get on and go and do cross-country races. Maybe World Enduro in Wales, just some events rather than having a, you know, always having an Austrian bike, KTM, whatever. So, yeah, here it is. Need to get out of the cage and get it in my workshop out of the way. New project. If it's as good as my Kawi was in 09, I'll be happy, because that thing was a weapon. I've not ridden a Kawi for a long time. I've had a go on the odd one here and there. In my mind it was between a Yamaha and a Kawi, but I just fancied a Kawi. I've heard great things about the new bike. The Kawi was always the most neutral bike for me out of all the Japanese bikes. That was more like an enduro bike. So we'll see. I'm hoping that I like it, but I'm dead excited to get tore into it really and get riding it. So there we have it. I'll get it in and make a start. Right, 2024 KX450F. It's actually the motocross bike, this, not the cross-country one, because they're not bringing the cross-country one, or this year they haven't done, into the UK. It's an all-new model from the previous 23 bike. The good thing is straight away that happened when they built a new bike. They left the fuel tank and the seat the same as the old model. So call to IMS, fuel tanks already in stock, guts, tall seats already in stock. So a lot of times with new models you're waiting months to get big tanks for them, get seats for them, tall for me. So I've been riding this now out here all winter. I've been to the British Cross Country Championship at Driftfield, first round. Won that. Bike was around there, probably quite similar, different terrain to here, but very similar, really rough. A lot of people don't like it. I've never been there, so I was like somewhere new. I loved it. One of the best places I've ridden for ages. Bike was a pleasure to ride. Track was really good, quite open, tight bits in the trees. It was like a proper GNCC. Bike was unreal around there. Like, I couldn't have I don't think I could have chose a better bike. So that was good. We've got the Showa forks back in again at the minute, but I've been swapping between Showa and WP forks on the bike. The chassis on it is incredible. You know, people always say Kawasaki chassis are always good, and this is, compared to the old model. I didn't do much on the old model, but I had a few rides on one. The front was quite vague on the old one, where this one, it feels planted. There's a lot more feel in it. It's not an aggressive bike. It's got power in it, by all means got plenty of power in it, but it's not like, say, I've got a 450 Honda 22 that I use down the beach for motocross. I wouldn't want to ride that in the woods. How it is, it's too aggressive. It's quite snappy, it stalls easy, where the old Kawi here is a lot more forgiving to ride. Right, here we are with the Kawi, the 450. Had a great year on this bike, a bit different as you know. Normally do KTMs and thoroughly enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure, it's been a brilliant bike. I've not done a massive lot to it, just little things like always to get comfortable on it. I ended up winning my 26th British ASU Championship, overall one, which is not bad at 46 years old. So I'll take that, and the bike, honestly, it was, you know, we started off with a bog standard 450 Kawi. We just went along with it, suspension, ran WP forks most of the year, which that's a bit of a shortcut because I'm so used to them, I've used them for that many years. But as the year went on, played more with the showers, got more comfortable with them to the point where I'd race across country with them now. The shock was never an issue. Like the actual chassis off the bike, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but it's, if not the best chassis that I've raced with in a cross country. The old KTMs and that years ago were great, they were brilliant, and they're still my go-to, I would say. But this really did excel in a lot of things. When it was really rough and bumpy, you just had a smile on your face. It was so good and smooth to ride. So Kawi've done a great job on that. Put the IMS tank on it, fan. We did a factory image cover, a bit thicker, just stronger. The Raptor pegs and the Raptor brackets that are a must. What else? Talon wheels, got them in. HGS pipe, gut seat. Actually ran a hump on this all year, just felt more comfortable on the Kawi with a hump on it. Motormaster discs, brakes. We used an AS3 oversized water pump on it. Pro carbon guard for under the thing, and bulletproof disc guards and things like that. I think they're AS3 as well, the chain block adjusters. So just little things really. Hinton clutch in this. Also we pretty much always use a Hinton for years again, and the clutch was pretty good on this, but they're just not that strong like any other Japanese bike. So put a Hinton basket in it, full lot, and I think during the whole year practicing on it and racing it, I've gone through, I think it's on the third clutch now, so I've done 2 clutches on it, and that was only safety really. There was nothing, not slipping, nothing wrong with it. Maybe for motocross to get more of a hammering and you go through more, but cross country's easy. One thing that I changed halfway through the year, I put a slower action throttle on it. That really made a big difference. I'll get to the power in a minute because it's a 450. They have a lot of power, any 450 now. For motocross, yeah, it's good. For cross country, for enduro, the smaller bikes are often beating 450s now overall, and just easier to ride. So my big thing with the Kawi in the first place was to, you know, the last time I raced one was what, 2009? And out of all the Japanese bikes then, it was the easy one to ride. It was just, as a standard bike, I just jumped on it and it was great. This is still got all that DNA. I jumped on it, it was like, it's an easy bike to ride, it's fun. You know, you jump on a Honda, you jump on a Suzuki, a Yamaha, and they've got a lot of power, a lot of snap. These are really smooth, so that's a real good base to start with. So I started with the Vortex ECU that I've used them for years, and then we went on to an AIM ECU, which I'd started using on my KTM a couple of years ago. Had really good results with it. So I think single-handedly, the biggest improvement we made was with the AIM ECU and with Tom Barrington. Tom and myself have done a lot of work out testing, trying different maps, traction control, all that stuff. So big thumbs up to this, and a big thumbs up to Tom for all the help on that. We got a bike that made it like a 250 almost. Still a 450 obviously, but it was really easy to ride. So yeah, I think, you know, the whole platform's been good. I left the Talon clamps as well, we use them on this. The offset was stock. Didn't alter any head bearing races or anything like I do with the KTM. So yeah, it's just been really fun, really good fun. One problem we had was with filming, so we lost a lot of footage with this bike. The SD card was corrupted and we did lose a lot of good build footage, which is obviously not ideal, but we've done our best with it. We've mentioned it, you don't have to do as much with this as a KTM for me to get it to the same standard. You're not changing gearboxes and things like that, but also it's not perfect. Like the gear ratios on this is probably one of the best out of a stock bike for me. The good thing with a KTM, you could play around with different ratios from different models, which I think it's more difficult now on the newer bikes, apparently. I've not looked into it yet, but no me I will. So yeah, she's been a good one and got another British title, so happy. So going forward with the Kawi, not sure yet what the future brings with it, if I'll be carrying on riding it or not. Still in talks, and you know, I'd be really happy to do something for sure, because like I said, it's a great bike, and I'd be keen going forward with it just to make it a little bit more enduro-y, I would say. And I think we've done everything we can with ECUs and stuff like that. When I raced the Kawi in '09, I ran a slightly heavier crank, and that was, for me, that was massively better. We did try flywheel weights originally, but obviously a flywheel weight and a crank is two different things. So I think if I race this more, that'll be the start that I do. Maybe even knock a little bit of compression out of it. My style of riding, which surprised a lot of people when I tell them, is I love a bike that I can just ride hard. I'm not a big, even though I raced them 500 KTMs for years, they were so easy to ride and so good on the throttle that you could play with it like a trials bike almost. You lack that obviously on a 450 motocross bike, because it's made for going around a motocross track and supercross track. So that's one thing that is left to do, I would say. Crank and maybe just alter the compression, whether they do it with a piston or just alter the cylinder a little bit. But time will tell, and hopefully we get to do it. But one thing that's interesting now is obviously the big problems with KTM. A lot of people over here, even that come in here and talk, they won't buy an Austrian bike at the minute. They've been put off, and you know, where do you go? What other enduro bike do you get? Because I've got plenty of KTMs in here, school bikes and stuff. As a bike that you buy, for me, as an enduro bike, they're very hard to beat. You know, there's not a massive load of options for enduros, getting them road legal and stuff like that. So you've got your redos and things like that, but as a four-stroke, especially enduro bike, it's very hard to beat an Austrian bike. I think Yamaha have probably put the most into it out of the Japanese over the years. Now there's rumours of Kawasaki coming out with new models, which, fingers crossed, I hope they do, because, you know, and even talk of two-strokes, which that'd be ace, you know, because that's what needs to happen now. They need to kick the others in the balls while we're down, really. And, you know, the Japanese have been left behind in the enduro industry for a long time. You've got Triumph that come along, but again, they're late with models. They're going to take time to get them right. You know, no matter what anyone says, how good and how great they are, they're going to have problems with them. I've ridden one, and there's a few things that I picked up on straight away that I didn't like, and that's normal. That's not having a go. That's just normal off a new bike. You know, Ducati are coming out with new bikes. They're going to have the same thing. You know, they'll go well in the Grand Prix and stuff like that, like Triumph will. But as a production bike, it takes a little bit more. But it's great to see all these new companies that are coming in. Like in MotoGP, the Japanese have been caught napping a little bit by the European manufacturers, and it's exactly the same with enduro. So it's great that they're showing an interest again. I hope all the rumours are true that Kawi are bringing new models out, and enduro models, two-stroke possibly models. So yeah, hopefully in a year's time there'll be a lot more news out about it, and everyone will be getting excited, because it's brilliant for the sport. Obviously you've got Ducati that had dominated MotoGP now the last few years. They're coming into motocross and potentially coming into enduros. So yeah, and hopefully, you know, no one wants to see KTM go down the pan and Husky and gas. So hopefully that stabilises again, and they continue to make the models that have set the benchmark for years. So yeah, it's exciting times, I think, for the whole off-road market. So we'll see where we are, but I'd love to be involved somewhere with it, with development. You know, everyone that knows me knows that I'm madly passionate about going out testing stuff every day and messing with stuff, and I can do a hell of a lot for manufacturing that way. So we'll see. I've loved riding this, so we'll see, maybe Cowie will show an interest and do a bit.